I want to, like, it would it's the type of job that just doesn't come open in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, you want this job so badly, but then it obviously shakes everything up for the Browns. Like, the realistic chance that Harbaugh would just say, screw you, Baltimore, for even firing me. I'm going to go to the AFC North rival, and I'm going to go fix the Browns.
I think they've got to be smart in terms of IQ, EQ, and football acumen. And obviously, they're going to bring expertise on one side of the ball. We do not have bias on whether they should be from the offense or the defense.
The Baltimore Ravens just let go of John Harbaugh, and now Browns owner Jimmy Hasslam is making his move. People, this isn't just a guess anymore. Several people close to the organization say that Haslam is focused on Harbaugh and that the plan is very clear. The same way he turned Lamar Jackson into an MVP, he should bring Shedeur Sanders to Cleveland to help him become the next franchise quarterback. Now, let me explain why this is so crazy. There is no way this could all happen at the same time by chance. The Browns fired Kevin Stefanski the day before Harbaugh was fired in Baltimore. One day. There had to have been some serious talks going on behind closed doors between Jimmy Hasslam and Harbaugh's agents. In the NFL, this kind of coordination doesn't just happen by chance. These people are making these moves on purpose because they know what they're doing. Did you plan all of this out weeks ahead of time? God is the only one who knows for sure, but things are coming together way too easily for this to be a coincidence. Stay with your group. Of course. Good coach. Consider it. For decades, the Browns have been looking for their quarterback. They've gone through more quarterbacks than most teams have in their whole history. Jimmy Hasslam knows that he needs two things to make this company better: a coach who has a track record of developing young talent, and a quarterback who could be a generational player. He may have just found both pieces of the puzzle at the same time, with Harbaugh and Shedeur Sanders. Now that we've talked about what happened in Baltimore, let's get to the good part of the story. People in the locker room have been talking about problems with calling plays, problems with communication, and a relationship that had run its course after all these years. The Ravens lost more than just a playoff spot. It took them out of the running completely, and it looks like it was the last straw for the owner. The Ravens organization thought it was time to move on after everything Harbaugh had done for them, including making Lamar Jackson one of the best quarterbacks in football and helping them win games. You have to wonder if they had been thinking about it for a while because they made the decision so quickly. Maybe they saw the signs. Maybe they knew that Harbaugh's heart wasn't in Baltimore anymore. It's a letdown. I'm sad about it. I think our guys fought hard. We were so close to winning the North, but we didn't get a chance to do it. So all that other stuff is in the past. And this is where things get really interesting. John Harbaugh wanted Shedeur Sanders during the last draft. He really wanted him. He saw in Shedeur the same raw talent, drive to win, and leadership skills that he saw in Lamar Jackson when the Ravens picked him. Harbaugh was sure he could turn Shedeur into something special, like another MVP-level quarterback. Here's the problem, though. The people who own the Ravens didn't agree. They didn't want to use a first-round pick on Shedeur. They didn't want to use a second-round pick either. They thought Lamar was already their franchise quarterback and didn't want to start a possible quarterback controversy. Harbaugh was desperate by the time the third round came around. He really did call Shedeur's father, Deion Sanders, to see if he was interested. Can you picture that talk? A well-known NFL coach called Coach Prime to ask if his son would be willing to come to Baltimore as a developmental project. But this is where it gets even more difficult. Shedeur Sanders didn't want to play second fiddle to Lamar Jackson. And can you blame him? A Hall of Fame quarterback raised the kid and taught him to believe in himself, know his worth, and never settle for being someone else's backup. Shedeur wants to be the guy from the start, not someone who sits on the bench and learns from someone else. You're talking on the phone. And Shedeur, I don't want to say how it went, but how can anyone blame him for saying or thinking, why in the world would I go back up Lamar for 10 more years? Definitely. So Shedeur and his group politely said no. They said to the Ravens, thanks, but no thanks. So what happened next? A reporter asked Harbaugh about the situation at a press conference that took place soon after the draft. What he said was very telling. I am paraphrasing what he said. When he said that it wasn't his choice to talk about a specific player or sign anyone, he made it very clear that getting new players was a decision for management, not for the coach. Anyone who was listening could tell that he was angry. This was a coach who knew what kind of talent he wanted, how to help that talent grow, and who was being overruled by people in suits who thought they knew better. You could tell that Harbaugh was upset from that point on. There was a change. Fans of the Ravens had come to love him as a fiery, passionate coach. There was a distance there, as if he were already mentally checking out. He was unhappy that he didn't get Shedeur Sanders, and it showed in small ways all season long. The energy wasn't the same. It seemed like he didn't really connect with his players. When the last loss to the Steelers happened and the arguments with Lamar got worse, it was like the dam finally broke. We don't talk about how decisions are made in the draft room, so I can't help you with that. I can't answer that for you, no matter how much I want to or don't want to. Jimmy Hasslam comes in. Now, you can say what you want about Haslam as a business owner. Over the years, the man has made a lot of mistakes with the Browns, but you can't deny that he's always looking for chances and trying to find the right way to win. He jumped on it right away when he saw what was going on in Baltimore and realized that Harbaugh might really be available. Now that the firing has happened, there are reports that Haslam got in touch with Harbaugh's camp within hours. The pitch was simple but strong. If you come to Cleveland and take full control of the quarterback decisions, we'll draft Shedeur Sanders for you this year. In Baltimore, we'll give you the blank canvas you wanted. We'll let you build the offense around the quarterback you trust. If you hire John Harbaugh, it goes away. You can't say that about any other person who might be a head coach. To be honest, this could be a deadly mix. Think about what Harbaugh did with Lamar Jackson. He took a quarterback that half the league had doubts about, and who some scouts thought was a running back playing quarterback, and he made him the best player in the NFL. He built an entire offense around Lamar's one-of-a-kind skills. He kept him safe, helped him grow, and had faith in him when no one else did. Now picture him doing that with Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback who has been trained by one of the best athletes of all time to be ready for this moment his whole life. He already has great pocket presence and can make any throw on the field. Lamar Jackson is not Shedeur Sanders. His style of play is very different. He is more of a traditional pocket passer, but he can move around to make plays when he needs to. But that's what makes this partnership with Harbaugh so interesting. Harbaugh has shown that he can change his system to fit the strengths of his quarterback. He's not a dinosaur running an old offense. He is creative, original, and most importantly, he knows how to get the most out of young players. He knows how to boost their confidence, set them up for success, and keep them from making mistakes that could set back their growth. The Browns would suddenly have everything they needed. The offensive line has some good players. They have Nick Chubb as a running back, which is a weapon when he's healthy. They have Amari Cooper and other players who can catch the ball. They haven't had the right coach and quarterback together yet, and this might finally be it. Harbaugh wouldn't only be coaching Shedeur, he would be his mentor, teaching him how to be a pro and how to deal with the stress of being an NFL franchise quarterback. He would do whatever it took to get the best version of Shedeur Sanders, because his legacy depended on it. This is also about Harbaugh getting a second chance. He was one of the best coaches in the league for his whole career in Baltimore. But now, he has a chance to show that he can do it again with a different team and a quarterback he picked out and trained from scratch. He can now prove that what he built in Baltimore wasn't just luck or having Lamar Jackson on his team. This is his chance to prove that his whole coaching philosophy works with a different kind of quarterback. This would be the most daring thing Jimmy Hasslam has done as owner of the Browns. He'd be putting the future of his team on the line with a coach who just got fired and a rookie quarterback who hasn't played a single game in the NFL. But in this league, luck favors the brave, and the teams that win championships are the ones that are willing to take smart risks. If this works, and Harbaugh and Shedeur Sanders become the next great coach-quarterback duo in the NFL, Harbaugh will go from being one of the most criticized owners in football to a genius who pulled off one of the most impressive rebuilds in league history. The question now is if this can really happen. Can they reach an agreement with Harbaugh? Is it true that the Browns will use their first pick to draft Shedeur Sanders? Is Shedeur ready to go to Cleveland and take on the challenge of making one of the league's worst teams better? In the next few days and weeks, we will answer all of these questions. But one thing is for sure. This situation is changing quickly, and it looks like it could lead to a huge move that changes the whole AFC North for years to come. What do you all think? Is this the right thing for the Browns to do? Can Harbaugh make Shedeur Sanders the next great NFL quarterback? Please tell me in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL news and analysis. This offseason is going to be crazy, and we'll be covering every single thing that happens here. I'll see you in the next one.